Question number 3, Todd Muller.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Finance. Does he stand by his statement that one of the government's main priorities is to build a more productive and competitive economy? And if so, what recent announcements has the government made that will save business time and reduce costs?
Order. Order. But I just want to deal with another matter. If I continue to hear those interjections from Ron Mark, I will be asking him to leave. Point of order, Ron Mark.
Tell us how long the appropriate questions should be so I can make sure I'm in line in future. How many words?
Order. If it's a primary question, it will inevitably or often be longer than allowed supplementaries. I've already told the member on one occasion that I'm not going to put a limit on, but when questions go on for too long, I will either ask them to come to a conclusion, but if the member would prefer a stronger action, I can just rule them immediately out of order. Question to the Minister of Finance, the Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, yes. And yesterday the Prime Minister announced the Budget 2016 business tax package, which includes a new pay-as-you-go option for provisional tax. It's part of a wider transformation program of inland revenue, which will provide them with completely new technology and make them easier to deal with. About 30 to 40% of businesses currently use cloud-based accounting software, and this is expected to grow to 90% in the next 10 years. The changes will mean small businesses will be able to pay provisional tax through their accounting software on a pay-as-you-go basis rather than having a separate process.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Todd Muller.
How else will the tax package support small businesses around New Zealand, including the 22,000 small business owners and sole traders of the Western Bay of Plenty?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, because of that members' and other members' advocacy on behalf of the small businesses and their electorates, the government has moved to reduce a number of the irritant factors around the payment of tax by business owners who are generally pretty busy trying to make a living. These measures include eliminating use of money interest for most taxpayers, increasing flexibility on the withholding rates for contractors, which haven't been changed in about 30 years, and reduced penalties for new debt. The changes in total will reduce IRD tax on businesses by $180 million over the next 4 years.
Very good. Supplementary.
Point of order, Ron Mark.
Mr Speaker, I've just received a phone call.
Order, 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 order. The fact the members received a phone call is not a point of order.
Point of order then.
If the member wants to raise a point of order, I'm happy to hear it, and I want to hear it in silence. I just want to warn my right-hand side. Point of order, Ron Mark.
Mr Speaker, the stand-in Minister of Defence answering questions today called me, in his answers, a cook. Now, if I'm a cook, he's a lying prat, and I want him to either withdraw...
Order. Order. The member is making a significant effort today, in my mind, to create disorder. But if the minister did at some stage through his answer say that, well, then the member can stand, the minister will stand and withdraw that comment and apologise.
I withdraw and apologise for calling Mr Mark a cook.
Order. Order. Order.
Okay, so I
order. No, order. I'm now going to ask the minister to stand and do it in accordance with standing.
I withdraw and apologise.
Thank you. I hope it's a fresh point of order, Tracy Martin.
I hope so too, sir.
Order. It is a point of order. I must hear it, and it must be heard in silence.
Sir, I'm going to ask you to go and reflect.
I can't hear the member because of interjections coming from me.
Sir, I'm going to ask you to go and reflect. I'm going to ask you to go and reflect as
order,
you
can
do.
I just have the point of order?
This is continual from this particular minister, that insults are made, suggestions that opposition are liars, and this minister
Order, that's not what was said. The member will resume her seat if she wants to stay. I've dealt with the matter. It doesn't need to be relitigated continually by members of power from the New Zealand First Party. Now, we've got supplementary question from Todd Muller.
Supplementary question. What other steps is the government taking?
Order. I did detect certainly a very strong interjection from my left there. The member knows who I'm talking about. And if that continues, she will be leaving. I will hear, but if it's just continuing to create trouble, I will be asking.
Well, I'm not going to drag it out any longer, Mr. Speaker. From the New Zealand First side, we say your behaviour today has been totally inappropriate. We've had enough of it.
Well, then that member can certainly leave. If the others want to volunteer, that's their business. Now, we return to supplement. Order. Supplementary question, Todd Muller.
Very good. My supplementary question to the Minister of Finance.
Order. Would Mr O'Rourke please go if he's going? Would you please leave, and so we can get back to, if the member wishes to leave, he doesn't have to, but I'm trying to get back to question time. Good.
Yeah, go on. And a handstand.
Right. Supplementary question, Todd Muller.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My supplementary to the Minister of Finance. What other steps is the government taking to support a more productive and competitive economy, particularly in terms of increasing exporters' access to overseas markets?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, the future of small businesses is in many parts of New Zealand tied to the success of our export industries. And the government has worked to increase the number of new markets available to our exporters, including free trade agreements with Malaysia, Hong Kong, ASEAN and Korea, and we're currently negotiating an FTA upgrade with China, which has been a very successful FTA signed by the last government, but needs upgraded and improved. And of course, we've signed the Trans-Pacific Partnership, opening access to 2 of the world's 3 largest economies.
Supplementary question, Todd Muller.
How is the government's focus on supporting a more productive and competitive economy translating into more jobs and higher wages for New Zealand families?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, over the last 3 years there's been 175,000 more jobs, and it's expected there'll be a further net gain of 173,000 by 2020, with the unemployment rate around 5.5%. At the same time, the average annual wage has up to now increased by 24% since 2009 compared to inflation of just 11%, and we'd expect that these trends will continue.
Question number 4.